Hey, what's going on, guys? DC Supreme is back with some more long form video reviews. And these long form video reviews are going to be for Build a Fig Waves and for figures that I'm using to complete teams of mine. So as you could see in my last video, we reviewed the Booster Gold and Blue Beetle 2-pack, which is going to be taking place in the background of my Justice League team. And as you can see here, we've got Green Lantern from, I believe this is Silver Age. Yep, Silver Age Green Lantern. And we're going to be cracking this guy open, doing a review, and giving some takes on the digital collectible nonsense that McFarlane's doing now. So we're going to crack this guy open and get right into the review now. Oh man, so we just got him out of the package, and I cannot tell you how stoked I am to finally have a classic Hal Jordan figure. He comes with this silly fan, typical DC Multiverse fan, except it says McFarlane Toys Digital. Because, I don't know, Todd McFarlane thinks that people want to look at a collectible on screen and get their rocks off to it or something. Be like, oh yeah, I collected all 3 overpriced figures for this. That's what I think of that. I would rather look at this beefy Dark Knight Returns armored Batman that I painted myself. I'd rather look at that, right? Just like you guys are right now, looking at it in the background of the video. I'd rather look at that than a digital collectible on my computer screen. But that's just me, right? Maybe I'm being a little bit over dramatic. I may be one of the only people that actually like unironically enjoys collecting all these different trading cards that come with the figures. Artwork is usually great. Hal Jordan, there's a classic Hal Jordan. You get these extra hands. You get a grippy hand and you get a open palm hand. So he can summon Saint Walker and defeat Sinestro. You know what I mean? He's got this lantern construct, so he can charge his ring. And then he's got 2 fisticuff, punchy construct things. The gun band is so bad, they actually had 2 of these, but in red with the Arkham Knight Red Hood. That's how bad the gun band is from WB. But anyway, let's get into looking at Mr. Hal Jordan here. Now we've seen all of his accessories. And this guy was always going to be a really crucial member of my Justice League team. I did grow up enjoying the Kyle Rayner comics, but Hal Jordan, he's always just been the classic one for me. I really do dig John Stewart. I want to get 2 of the John Stewart classic ones. So I can keep 1 for the collection, and then I want to get the platinum one so I can do a head swap with one of these. But some of these Green Lantern figures are actually pretty hard to find. I had to track this down at Target, and it was, man, the only store out of like 12 locations that had this guy. Most of them just had the Aquaman and the digital Batman, the blue Rebirth Batman. Guy in the back said this was the only one out of the case, so it seemed like 1 out of the 6 in the cases were being Green Lanterns. Most Targets that I know of had 3 Batmans, 2 Aquamans, 1 Green Lantern in the case. I think this guy kind of hard to get. I mean, you can get him on Amazon for retail, but you know what? The hunt is always funner. Now, with that aside, lore aside, the face sculpt is really quite nice. And I'm not just saying that because I'm glazing. I truly believe that it has a nice cartoon, comic book-esque to it. The hair is surprisingly well painted. His whole bodysuit, as plain as it is, very well painted. Very well handled. A lot of really good decisions. I know this body buck is reuse of something. Let me know down in the comments below exactly what. I'm not familiar with, you know, I know this may sound crazy, but I don't know every body buck McFarlane's made by heart. Sue me. I have around 400 McFarlane figures. Um, DC Multiverse and Spawn combined. And yeah, I do not know what body buck this is. I want to say John Kent, Superboy. I don't know. He's got his little ring, fairly well painted. He can hit a nice T pose, double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. Comes up pretty far. You do a nice split if you want him to. Articulation is actually quite nice. The diaper piece on this guy also is not terribly distracting. Because it's such a classic like comic book feel to it, it feels properly integrated into the skull. All right, so I got some accessories on him. This lantern, I don't know if you can see the front of it a little bit is chipped off on the front and the back of the lantern there. It seems to be chipped. Double jointed elbow on his left elbow. A little bit janky. His accessories don't really clip on smooth like butter. I do appreciate how he is included with a grippy hand so he can actually hold the lantern, although it's kind of a pain in the ass to get him to hold it. You gotta get him some weird pose. Got his construct here, his fisticuffs. Gotta aim it a certain way so his fist can actually sit in it. But I know I'm applauding McFarlane for putting a hand to actually hold the lantern on a figure that's $25 because it has a digital collectible. My opinion, right? I mean, a lot of people don't see eye to eye with me because I'm brash and opinionated. But here's the thing, guys. I'm not just a negative Nancy. I mean well, okay? I want to see some aggressive expansion on McFarlane's part. I want to see him turn over a new leaf and not just price gouge for the sake of price gouging. It's nice to have accessories. Every lantern figure has the lantern. Extra hands is great and all. These fisticuffs is great. I would have liked to see a flight stand. I feel like it costs so little to have those cheap plastic flight stands, but they add so much personality to the posing and just a lot more fun factor overall. Just having that flight stand included. I think every character with flying capabilities, Green Lantern is one of them, should have a flight stand included, especially if we're doing $25 because a digital collectible, it's not worth the dirt on my shoe. Okay. And if you're going to be charging $25 for these guys, and most regular McFarlanes are $22.99, where's the extra $2 coming from? This? Are you kidding me? It just, the figure leaves me wanting more. It needs more, and I love the fact that we got a classic Hal Jordan, but it needs more, it needs more personality to it. I love the grin on his face. I think the sculpt is good. But if you're going to hit me with repainted accessories that are with pretty much every other Green Lantern figure and a repainted body buck and it just, slightly good head sculpt, it's just like, it feels like he's gouging the prices on classic characters he knows we want, like that Wonder Woman collector's edition that I still have to buy because believe it or not, I have a big boy job. I can't just wait by my phone 24/7 and get all these pre-orders. Why can't they just be normal releases? I don't understand all this digital. There's too many gimmicks. And for that, just for that reason alone, I'm going to dock this a few points just because it comes off very gimmicky. I love me some Hal Jordan. He's going to be an integral part of my Justice League shelf, but it had to be in the most gimmicky way possible. This McFarlane Digital stuff, which now they're releasing a classic Green Lantern or classic Green Arrow that is going to be locked behind these weird $25 digital figures. It's just stupid. I like this figure a lot. So for the price point, because everything I grade, I don't grade this stuff scaling to Hot Toys or SH Figure Arts or any expensive import crap. For $25, how am I rating this guy? Judging by price, McFarlane's history, all that characterization, I give this guy 8 out of 10. I think he's a good figure. And I think any Hal Jordan / Green Lantern fan is going to be more than justified in shelling over the $25 for this. I was more than willing to do that. I'm not saying you guys shouldn't. But if there's any figure that you're iffy about, don't just hand McFarlane your money just because you want to be a completionist. I know that's hard, because I know there are a lot of completionists out there. But I'm turning over a new leaf too. I'm not talking, I'm also doing it. Every figure that I used to be iffy about that I'd buy anyway, I'm holding out and skipping. So if you love Hal Jordan, if you want him for your Justice League team, I'd highly recommend picking this guy up. It's a good deal. Like I said, 8 out of 10 figure. But if you're not a big Green Lantern guy, don't really care about the Justice League, and you are going to buy this just to get your digital collectible and complete the wave, you should probably rethink how you're spending your money. But you do what you want. You guys are grown adults. I don't judge. I admire. It's been DC Supreme, always talking DC and how DC will always reign supreme in comics, media, games, and movies. Stay classy, guys. Take it easy.